The free tuition ride is over, but university and college is about to get a little less expensive for students who have to bear the full cost of tuition. I'm Christina Howarn, and today the Ontario government announced that it was slashing tuition fees by 10% starting next year. But bundled in that good news announcement was news of reforms to Ontario's student loans and grant programs, grants that at one time allowed up to 1 in 4 Ontario students to go to school tuition-free.
Instead of using OSAP to subsidize tuition hikes, we will focus our resources on the students in greatest need.
Which means that the OSAP tuition grants introduced by the Liberals in 2016, which allowed students from families earning less than $50,000 a year to attend school for free, will now be combined with loans. And students whose families earn more than $140,000 a year will no longer be eligible for those grants.
Under the current program, students from higher income families were receiving grants just for applying, not because they had a demonstrated need.
In December, the Auditor General revealed that changes made by the previous government cost more than the Liberals anticipated, with OSAP costs rising to $2 billion this year alone, a nearly 50% increase from spending just 2 years ago. But former Premier Wynne stands by her earlier decisions.
13,000 single moms took advantage of the opportunity to go to college or university, accessed the tuition program that our government had put in place, and many of those young people would not have attended post-secondary if they hadn't known that they were not going to be carrying a huge debt.
The NDP warns that while some students will benefit from a reduced tuition fee, they'll ultimately end up paying with poor quality education.
We have the lowest per student funding of any province in this country, and this is only going to make the situation worse. The universities are already cash strapped, and they're going to have to find ways to make up for the loss of revenue, and it's going to come out of the students. It's going to come out of the quality of education that they receive through the class sizes and through the number of professors that are on the campus to help them.
Noor Ali Deeb from the Canadian Federation of Students says while some students could see additional savings by a reduction in compulsory student fees, Ali Deeb cautions there could be an impact to some student groups that serve marginalized communities.
So I think that it's a very scary and unprecedented move to give, open up that option for specific types of people to opt out of, supporting these student groups that often represent marginalized communities, because what it does is that you're taking away their long-term consistent funding to provide those services, to provide those campaigns, to move forward a progressive agenda that's actually beneficial for everyone.
Now, according to the Canadian Federation of Students, they say that they've tried repeatedly to meet with this government since it came to office in June. And they said that their requests for meetings with the minister have gone simply ignored. But tomorrow at 1 o'clock, they're anticipating at least 500 students will be here outside of Queen's Park for a rally in protest of these changes.